I just wanted to take an opportunity and thank everybody for being here, and also to let them know that for those of you who are in attendance, if at any point you have a question, there's a Q&A option on the bottom of your screen. Please type that in and we will be able to ask the presenter the question and they will be able to answer that for you. In our first workshop, which I thought was absolutely amazing, we had lots of times for questions and answers, and you can also email us at info@bianj.org if we don't have time to get to your question. So we've got just a few more minutes, and while everybody's waiting, if there's any questions that we can answer for you, please feel free to type those in. You've got lots of representatives here from BIANJ, so as we wait, we can address any questions that you may have.
Actually, we now have Michelle Weintraub on deck, who will now be starting our yoga workshop. Again, though, if there are any questions or comments, please feel free to type them in the Q&A, and we will definitely address them. And now I'd like to turn it over to Michelle Weintraub. Thank you.
Namaste, everybody. So thank you for joining us. It's an excellent opportunity to share information about brain injury and spend some time together in this way to stretch out our bodies and our minds. So I am a yoga instructor for 10 years, and I have been trained by Love Your Brain and teach yoga for people with traumatic brain injury on a regular basis. And we're going to practice a gentle yoga class today that is accessible to everyone. So if you are in a wheelchair or need assistance and you have a caregiver with you, it's for everybody to participate, yourself and family. And if there's anything that's not accessible to you, I'll give options along the way for poses that you can do so you can be actively participating the entire time. Let's get started so we don't spend so much time talking. Comfortable seat means exactly that, comfortable seat. So I'm sitting on a blanket on the floor with my legs, my feet crossed, which is comfortable for me. If you are sitting on the floor and maybe feel a little bit too collapsed or congested, you can always take, I have here a bolster, you can use any kind of pillow, a stack of folded blankets, books. I have some blocks here, but be creative, look around, see what you've got, and you can always place something underneath you. It's gonna give you a little bit more support and give your spine a chance to get a little bit longer, especially through your neck and head, which many of us experience difficulty with a brain injury. I have a TBI myself. I sustained TBI about 27 years ago as I became part of the windshield of a car. So I sympathize and empathize with all of you struggling through pain and discomfort and all of the symptoms that brain injuries can bring to the table. So once you get comfortable, just allow your eyes to just fall closed, right? And just be with that. And if you're not comfortable with your eyes closed, especially if proprioception, like your idea of spatial awareness around you, or maybe you feel a little bit of dizziness or sometimes nauseous with the eyes closed, just gaze downward. Like just try to let your eyelashes be a little bit heavier if you can, right? And just focusing on something that's not moving is often helpful. And just kind of sit with it for a moment and just kind of letting go of whatever it took for you to get here, right? Oftentimes we're told to let go of our day and let go of tension and let go of stress, and that's not always so easy to do based on whatever the day has brought to the table. But just letting go of whatever it did take for you to get here, because you're here now and you're on your mat or you're on your floor in your home, protected and safe. And you're lucky to be here, to be able to do this work for yourself and for people around you. And then just allow yourself to notice your breath. We're going to spend some time today talking about breath and talking about how the breath can invigorate and refresh you and also help to relax you in times of stress or tension. And if you do have the ability to do this, try to breathe in through your nose as if you're smelling. Right? Even if your sense of smell is not with you right now, actively bring in the breath to your nose as if you were smelling something. And then when you do that, see if you can push your belly button away from you as if you were very full, like you've just eaten a very big meal and you feel really full, like you can feel it across the waistline. And just breathe in. Keep taking breath in through your nose and push your belly away. And maybe it sounds like the ocean, which could be relaxing. And then exhale, pull your belly button all the way back to your spine, like you're trying to snap your belly button to your spine, and gently press the breath either out of your nose or out of your mouth. Sometimes exhaling through the mouth just feels better, right? You can get rid of a little bit more buildup. And just do that a few times without trying to do it right, without worrying if you're doing it wrong, right? You breathe every day, all day, from the moment you wake up until the moment you wake up, until the moment you wake up. You're continuously breathing. You were born to breathe, and you're going to breathe every day, all day. So just let it happen. You're already good at it. Right? So just allowing the belly to move in and out, and allowing the breath to move in through the nose and either out of the nose or mouth. And just notice while you're sitting here if your shoulders have suddenly taken a joyride up to your ears. And if you can, gently encouraging the shoulders to move down. And it may even help you to very gently tuck your chin. Just like you're holding like a little ball underneath your chin, just getting the back of the neck a little bit longer. And always remember, if your body does not have the ability or the access to moving in this way, move to a place that is within reason. And then set an intention, right? Set an intention, something simple, something achievable, something that you can complete, right? So maybe it's getting through this yoga class, or maybe it's trying one of the meals that you just learned about, right? Or maybe it's cleaning out a closet that you've been meaning to clean out since we've been here in this new stay-at-home order, right? So just simple things that you can complete. And you can also offer a dedication to yourself, right? You're always dedicating to yourself or to someone around you or someone that you don't even know, right? Someone that maybe can use a little love and support coming from you. And then just sit with that also for a moment here, noticing how you're feeling. See if you can take your lower back in a little bit to help you sit a little bit taller. And let's imagine that there's a beam of light coming out of the crown of your head. Right? A beam of light coming from the tailbone from where you're sitting all the way up through your spine. And then just follow that all the way up like you're trying to push the top of your head a little higher towards the ceiling, right? And pull your shoulders very gently away from each other. So you're pulling them out, which is going to give you a lot more breathing room across the upper chest. Sometimes you feel overwhelmed, a little bit anxious, right? Or scared, right? So see, pulling the shoulders apart and pressing the head up automatically gives you more room to take in that breath, bring it in. And let's all sigh it out the mouth. And trying that again. Deep breath in, out the mouth. And one more, just like that, big breath. All right. And then if your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them, right? And if your legs are crossed, we're gonna go ahead and straighten the legs. So if you're sitting on the floor, I'm gonna invite you to lie down on the floor now. If you're in a wheelchair, sit as you're sitting. If you're crossing your ankles, maybe cross them the other way, or maybe just extend your legs out in front of you in your chair and just lean back a little bit, right? So when you come to lie down, just look behind you, make sure there's nothing on the floor that's gonna hinder. I'm sitting on a blanket, I'm going to move it. If you'd like to have a pillow or a folded blanket under your head, please by all means put that there, especially to support a healthier neck and spine relationship, right? If that's what makes it better for you. So you're gonna lie on the floor. Those of you lying on the floor, you're gonna bend your knees and just have your feet on the floor. It might feel better or good to just take your knees, the inner knees, and just let them lean on each other, right? Just like you like to lean on someone, let your knees lean on each other. If you are sitting in a wheelchair, you can have your legs neutral, but I'd like for you to bring your shoulders that may be pulling forward. Sometimes sitting in a chair can create that shape, and just actively pull your shoulders back, and maybe even take your arms, if you're sitting in a chair, just back behind you, maybe outside of the arms of the chair, and just feel as if someone or some force is holding your wrists and pulling your arms back, sitting nice and tall, all right? So we're just gonna get into that shape, and we're gonna do a little flow with our arms, and you wanna be mindful of the shoulders and how you're moving. So just take your arms down, either lying on the floor out to your sides, or sitting in your chair out to your sides, and then just take a deep breath, right? Just inhale again. And then just feel whatever part of your body is touching the floor, right? So sitting in a chair, maybe it's your feet resting on the support system, or maybe your feet are on the floor. And if you're lying down, maybe you can feel your shoulders pressing into the floor. And you're gonna all together reach the arms up towards the ceiling, and then stretch the arms back behind you. The operative word here is going to be stretch, okay? So regardless as to how far back or how high up you can go, that doesn't matter. I'd like you to enter into the stretch. Give your body, that sometimes can be a little bit contracted or feeling tired, the opportunity to take in more breath. So a big inhale with this movement. And as you exhale, stretch your arms up and just start to lower them down, and start to feel the back of your body, the waistline, like you're wearing a belt, pressing into the floor, or simply pressing back. Press into your feet, press into that belt, and inhale, stretch your arms all the way up. Stretch them up and just reach them. Don't push it, right? The point here is not to push or go past the point of reason. And then exhale when you're ready. Let's take the exhale out of the mouth and have it be audible, right? And let's do that a few times. Inhale, so a nice arm flow, like you're painting a rainbow. All right, like you're painting a rainbow, stretching back. Maybe it feels as if someone is holding your hands and pulling you back. And then exhale, go ahead, release the arms down, right? And we're not working really hard in any one part of the body other than the breath. We want to really strengthen and stretch the lungs, strengthen and stretch the diaphragm, strengthen and stretch the ribs. And let the brain take a rest from all of the thinking and all of the worry, all of the constant concerns that we sometimes might have. Just having a brain injury alone creates that climate in our minds, right? And then we add into it all this other stuff. Well, that adds a whole other level. Just go with 2 more times just like that. Inhale, you're doing great, right? You're doing great. Just being able to be here, right? Practicing some yoga, strengthening your body, stretching your breath. And then one more time, we're gonna reach them all the way back. All right, and then exhale, we're gonna relax the arms down by our side, and let's let the palms face up. Sitting in a chair, place your arms on your arms on the arms of your chair, and let your palms face up. And let's just wiggle the toes a little bit, right? So just pick up your toes and move them, spread them out. And it's a really good idea. This is something that you can do all the time when you're sitting in a chair, any kind of chair, or even standing. I encourage it. Lift up your toes and stretch your toes as much as you can to help increase your balance, right? The more space and more stretch you have in your feet, the better you're going to feel. All right, and then just lower the toes down, okay? And then we're gonna go ahead, and if you're on the floor, you're gonna roll to your side, and then very gently, letting your head be last, push the floor away from you and just come to sit back up. Okay, I see a little message in the chat room, so I'm gonna get to that in just a second. And you're gonna come back to your comfortable seat. And then from here, once you're sitting in your comfortable seat, please go ahead and tuck your chin. Tuck your chin and just lengthen the back of your neck. All right, lengthening the back of your neck. All right. All right. And then from here, you're just going to go ahead and roll your head over to your right and try to keep your left shoulder, from coming with you. Mindful of these little muscles, these little scalene muscles down the side that can sometimes get a little bit tense, right? Many of us experience that. And then very slowly coming back. Now remember, your skull is approximately 8 to 14 pounds. Let's come on over to the left shoulder. And then again, just feeling this little side here, noticing the skin. Your skull is approximately 8 to 14 pounds, right? So don't be surprised if it's feeling heavy as you're rolling it again, tucking the chin, and notice how you're feeling across the upper back and shoulder blades as you roll your head. So some of you may be wondering if it's okay to take your head, go the other way, and just kind of take this on your own, right? Follow your own rhythm, follow your own movement, follow what feels safe for you. Some of you may be wondering if it's okay to take your head in a full circle all the way around the back. Now for me, I am not able to do that. I have a lot of difficulty in the back of my neck. You may have full range of motion and you may feel that it feels great. So go ahead, if that is you, go all the way around. But please, those of us in the room or in the program here that do not feel that that is a good idea, please don't do that. And then let's just bring the head back to neutral, drop the shoulders down, and then pull the back of the head back. Like there's a magnetic force pulling your head back, and let's bring the head to neutral. All right, and then breathe again. Imagine that your body from your hips all the way to the top of your head is like the neck of a giraffe. Okay, so let's just think about that for a moment. We all know what a giraffe looks like, right? And it's the back and the spine, just like that of a giraffe, narrowing all the way up to the top. And the giraffe is going to press the top of the head up. And just feel the base of the neck pressing down. I'm going to go ahead from here and reach the arms all the way up. Open the fingers nice and wide. Deep breath in. So when you open your hands, it's another way for your body to release tension. Try to straighten your elbows to the best of your ability. Again, mindful of your limbs, like depending on what your brain injury entailed, straightening the arms may not be an option for you. However, even if you cannot straighten your arms, imagine that your arms are straight. Just get the same sensation by visualizing straight arms, strong arms. And then take another inhale. As you exhale, let's take the right hand down to the floor. Just down to the floor or down to the side of your chair right there, rest the arm. And if your hand is on the floor, or if it's feeling too far away from you, that's when you can take one of your blocks or a book or a soup can or a paper towel roll or toilet paper that we all probably have plenty of. Put it right there under your hand and reach a little higher, like you're trying to touch the ceiling with your left fingers. And then just come on over. Just come on over. Take a nice side stretch through the side. And try not to let your left hip go with you. Try to let your left hip stay down. This is a nice opportunity for those of you that you want to turn your head and maybe look under the left arm. That's great. For those of us or those of you that don't feel comfortable with that, you could look at the floor or you can keep your head neutral. And then push the floor away from you with your right hand. Push up to come up. Take the right arm up. Take your hands together overhead. You can maybe look up again. That's all dependent on what your spine is comfortable with. Interlace your fingers and give yourself a big squeeze. And flip your palms all the way up. Push up, push up, push up. Again, letting go of tension. I know a lot of us are spending an awful long time typing and texting and spending time on devices. So this is like reverse texting pose. And then place the palms together. And let's bring the hands right on top of the upper chest. Just place them down. And then breathe. Just feel how your breath is going to lift the hands, rise. Like you're smelling the air around you. Release the stomach. Sometimes tension gets caught up in here. And then keep the heart rising as you exhale. Take the navel back and just press the breath out of your nose or your mouth. Either one is fine. Relax your hands. Drop your shoulders. And again, let's tuck the chin. right? Tucking the chin, pulling the shoulders down gently. Maybe someone is standing behind you and can give you a little push down of the shoulders. That feels really nice. And then let's again go ahead and roll the head to one side, roll to the other. Right, so nice, simple, repetitive movements. And these are all things that you can do at any time. If you're the passenger in a car, if you're having difficulty sleeping. Again, those of you that are comfortable taking your head in full circle, maybe you're going in the opposite direction than you were before. And I'm just going to offer, if you don't remember or you don't know, trust me, people without a TBI don't remember, or a brain injury don't remember, so it's okay, right? You're just here doing some yoga, doesn't have to be perfect. And then bring your head back up, sweep your arms out and up, reach your fingers upward towards the sky, keep getting longer, all right? And then breathe. Again, visualizing straight arms. Parts of our body that we forget to use that are very big, like they're big workhorses if we use them, are the thumbs, the ring fingers, and the elbows. So see if you can get a little bit more power out of that. Deep breath in. Left hand's coming down for a landing or forearm on armchair. Reach up, reach up, reach up, and then come on up. So imagine that you're creating that same rainbow down the right side of your ribs. So if you're ever feeling tight or tense or just overall, even overwhelmed, like a little bit congestion, think about your ribs spreading as wide as your hands and your toes, right? So you can get a little bit more room. Think about your lungs pushing out to the side, giving you the opportunity to take a deeper breath when you need it. Like now. Okay, push the floor away from you. Inhale to come up. Take your hands together. If you remember which way you interlaced your fingers before, go the other way. It's going to feel weird. So that's how you know you're going the other way. Squeeze your hands super tight. Flip your palms all the way up again, like you're flipping that phone out of your hand and you're just pressing up, right? Belly comes back so you don't feel like you're pulling on your lower back. Just keep your head relaxed, right? Try to keep the ears relaxed. Notice what the ears are sensing, right? If you have a lot of sound going on around you, see if you can soften that sound. And then bring the palms together. Once again, bring your hands down and let's take the opposite hand on top, right? Sometimes we're not even sure right, left, up, down, and I totally understand that. Unfortunately, I'm not with you, so it's hard for me to work with right and left and give you kind of places of interest to look at. So working with what we've got. And then bring your hands down again. If your legs are crossed, I'm going to ask you to cross them the other way. If your legs are not crossed, stay the way you are. Bring your hands to your knees. And then again, giraffe neck. So you're feeling really tall all the way up through the sides of your ears. And then you're going to start to circle. All right, so just moving a little bit bigger circle. This is really helpful for a couple of things. One, it's really nice for the spine to get a nice kind of circular movement when it's usually just very linear. Two, great for digestion. Some of us have difficulty with digestion, just from having a heavy meal, lack of exercise, being stuck at home a lot more, right? So this is really good. It's like stirring the pot. Let's just go a couple of times. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be fast. It just has to feel right in your body right now. And then when you're ready, just stop in the middle. Give yourself that chance to land. Breathe. And then go the other way. So just coming back the other way again. If you forgot which way that you were just going, don't worry about it. Just pick a side and move. Pick a side and move. Your body's going to love you for it. Doesn't matter. You cannot get this wrong. Okay, that is for sure. You cannot get this wrong. So just moving in a circle. Notice if it's feeling good or if it's not feeling good. If it's not feeling good, then you're not doing it. Okay? Yoga is not supposed to feel anything but good, right? And so as long as you are breathing, you are practicing yoga. Okay, and then find that stillness again in the middle. Okay, sitting tall. Exhale out of the mouth. Drop the shoulders. Many times our shoulders are way up here. We don't even know it, right? Just take them down. And we're going to do one more neck stretch. You're going to take your left arm, right? So whatever side, it's hard for me again. Usually I would give you a place of interest, but just reaching all the way up. And then take that same hand, bend the elbow to the outside of your head, other side. Okay, and then just gently, and not trying to pull your head off your neck. Just gently going right into the side. Okay, and just kind of dropping that shoulder. For me, it's helpful to tuck my chin a little bit because my injury really affected the back of my neck more. So I am aware of that, and I'm just gently trying to get those muscles. So depending on where you have your sensation, right, that's where you want to work. Those of you that want a little bit deeper stretch, just simply take your hand, this outside hand, to the floor and just kind of push down. Very simple, very effective. Like you're making fingerprints with all 5 fingers at the same time. When you're ready, bring this hand back if it's out and take this hand, the head hand, to the inside of your head and gently push it up, right? So you're not using the weight of your head to come back up. You're using your hand. Drop your hand. Shrug your shoulders all the way up on purpose. On purpose, shrug your shoulders. And then ready, drop them down. And do that again. Inhale, scrunch them all the way up, like they're creeping up, and drop them. One more time. Inhale, squeeze them all the way up. All right, second side. Right arm reaches up. Reach, reach, reach. And then go ahead and take that hand to the outside of your head. Breathe. And then as you exhale, slowly taking your head to the right. Right, so there's different kinds of people, and some of us are people that like to get it right. We want to do it. We want to just make it perfect. But I gotta tell you, sometimes if you kind of move away from that, not so concerned with having it be perfect, it actually ends up being pretty perfect on its own. If you want to go ahead and take your left hand to the floor or outside a little bit, you can do that. It doesn't mean you're more advanced if you're doing it. It doesn't mean you're not doing it right if you don't, right? But different types of bodies, different kinds of people, different kinds of needs. You need something different every day and all day. So just being aware, right, of the words that you're using for yourself, and they should be kind. And then let's bring that hand back in, and go ahead and take this inside hand and push it up. All right, drop your shoulders, drop your chin. All right, deep breath in, roll the shoulders up and back. Okay, if you are sitting in a chair, extend your legs out in front of you. If you're sitting on the floor, extend your legs out in front of you. And let's all just bring the hands to the side and push down. Take the shoulders back and push down. This is just a nice flushing out of the legs because we've been crossed for so long. And spread your toes. Spread them wider than you think you can, to the point where if someone was looking at you, they'd think you're a little strange. Like, why are you spreading your toes so wide? But think about this. If you have any issues with balance, if balance is something that you're working on and have struggled with, think about something that is wide on the base and is very tall on the top, right? That is balanced. So think about like a building has a huge basement, right? It needs that so it doesn't topple over. It needs a foundation. So the wider that you can make your feet, right? The wider you can make your feet, the more foundation you're going to have on the ground, the better your balance will be. That might even mean to stand wider. All right, one more time. Let's crisscross the ankles. Just checking my time. Okay, and then let's one more time just go in circles, right? Just because it feels good. It's like a really good loosening up of tension. And you can exaggerate it by rolling your spine back and then lifting to the chest when you come forward, and then rolling your spine back. So really exaggerating this action of your spine. Rolling and then pulling up. All right, find the neutral center. Right. Just feel your body. If you feel dizzy, if you feel any nausea or anything from that movement, give your body a chance to land. If lying down is something that makes you feel more stable, please do it. Have a glass of water. Exhale a little bit. I'm just going to take a gentle twist. Okay, so again, we're going to stretch the arms all the way up like you're lifting something really heavy, right? So your action of lifting, like, or maybe you're holding a giant beach ball. We're in summer season. Take your belly button back. Take a deep breath in. Now look over towards your right so you see where you're going. And let's take this left hand to the right knee. Place it there. And then take your right hand behind you. Option to land on your fingertips or your palm. But let's just try to sit tall, maybe lean in a little bit more versus leaning back. So let's just try to sit up nice and tall. And attitude of that giraffe spine again, giraffe neck, nice and long, not like an owl. So an owl is going to want to turn the head and look all the way back. We don't need to do that. You're already in a twist. If you want to turn more, see if you can turn at the very bottom of your spine. So you're taking your whole body with you. You're not putting tension on your head and neck. And just kind of breathe and feel what's happening on the inside. If you happen to look behind you, that's great. If you feel better twisting but having your head looking over here, that's fine too. Your body is still in a twist. Where you're looking has nothing to do with it, right? This is really, again, a good digestive move. And then coming back, see if you can keep your left hand on your right leg and turn back, right? Take your right arm and reach it behind you. Reach it up. Now you're going to lean to your left. So you're in a little bit of a shoulder stretch and a little bit of rib stretch. There's a spot right here, right? It's not the most glamorous part of our body, but a lot of tension and buildup happens in this area. It's just a natural place for stress to go. We don't think about it. So we're trying to stretch this little flank, this little fleshy bump. Stretch that out. All right, come back up. And the right hand comes down. And you come back to a neutral spine. Breathe. Sitting tall. Relax your cheeks. While we're sitting here, open up the mouth really wide. And then close it. And do it again. And then close it. And let's go with one more. And then close. We build tension here too. We don't even think about that. Okay. Go ahead from here and then take your right hand to your left knee. Sorry about that. Good. And then stretch your left arm all the way up and a little bit behind you and turn to your left. I find it helpful to keep my chin in when I do this because I want to look straight back and I know it's going to hurt. Take your hand down. For me, it's going to hurt, right? It's going to be too much. So I just keep the chin down and then keep turning from the belly button. So just think about taking your belly button over to the side. Not so concerned with where your head goes. Just take the belly button around. And again, those of you that have a nice range of motion with your head and neck and you want to look back, it's fine. But those of us that don't have that range of motion, not to feel like you're not getting it right, you're doing it right. It's really, really important to remind yourself that you're doing this. You cannot, again, I'm saying it again, and I'm saying this over and over, you cannot get this wrong. Yoga is so much more than touching your toes. It's about body awareness and feeling good in your body and being able to breathe and being able to bring yourself back to a point of goodness. Right? Not constantly feeling like you're picking up pieces and putting things together. Just feeling like a whole, beautiful being and coming on back. And let's take that left arm and reach it behind you. And then pick it up. Leaning over to your right. And again, this is where we're working. Thinking about this outside of the shoulder blade. Okay, it's where the ribs are hanging out. And it's going to give you a lot more breathing room, a lot more breathing room. So try to remember, and I can help you with some resources to give you these tools to do more often. And then coming up, and release your hand down, and place your palms down. Bring your hands behind you, lean back, and take your legs again out in front of you. Again, you're sitting in a chair, extend your legs out, have your hands on the back of the arms of your chair with your shoulders back. Spread your toes again, I cannot do this enough. And now squeeze your toes super tight. Squeeze your toes super tight, and then open and spread your toes even wider. And then do it again. Your feet might cramp, don't be afraid of that. Mine do it all the time, or your toe might get stuck, right? And this is helping your brain make a relationship with your feet, right? You're asking your feet to do this. Your brain is sending a signal to your feet. Open and close, open and close, right? And then coming back, we're gonna come on to hands and knees for those of us sitting on the floor. Chair people, stay where you are. We're gonna do, I have variations for you for this. So if you are on the floor, you might feel better putting a little blanket or a pad under your knees or under your hands. Okay, and we're just gonna simply from here, just rock the hips a little bit side to side. Right, just wagging the tail. Okay, and then just stillness right here. Okay, so those of us on the floor, hands and knees, you're gonna round your spine, coming into a pose we call cat. And then from here, we're going to drop the belly, lift the tailbone, and just gently pull the chest forward. Let's not flip the head forward or back. The head's just gonna go wherever the spine is going. So don't even worry about going too much further, and then come back the other way. If you are sitting in a chair, okay, you're going to be doing the same thing. You can place your hands on your knees, and you can roll back into your back body, and then pull yourself forward into your front body. Rolling into your back body, and then rolling into your front body, and then just moving in that way. Okay, so we're just gonna do that a few more times. Okay, all right, just a couple more. If you are tired and your hands are getting tired, you can certainly press back to a pose we call child's pose, and you can turn your palms to face up, or you can bring your hands together, bend your elbows, and just give yourself a little pat on the back, like just for being here at all, right? Or you can stay with table. We're gonna come back to table. Right, so finishing up with your cat and cow, chair people and floor people. And we're gonna do a little shoulder stretch, a shoulder flow. Okay, so I'm gonna face you so that you can see what's going on here. You're gonna take your right arm, okay? So chair people, give me a second, I'm gonna come back for you. Floor people, stretch your arm all the way out. Right arm reaches out like you're trying to touch the wall to the side, and breathe. You're gonna exhale and slowly take that arm behind your left arm and turn. Okay, we're not coming all the way to the floor. We're gonna come back up, inhale, reach it out. Exhale, do it again. Okay, chair people, you're gonna do something very similar. Okay, sitting in your here. Okay, take your left hand to your knee, reach your right arm out, breathe in, and it's gonna exhale and turn and stretch that arm across. Inhale, reach your arm out. Exhale, trying to move from here, right? So less of a twist, more of a nice shoulder blade, outer shoulder, okay? So we're gonna do one more time. And then after that last one, just pause in your table, turn your right hand upside down. So the back of your hand is on the floor, and spread your fingers super wide so it looks kind of like that. Okay? Helps your wrist and forearm. Okay. And then flip it back. And then get nice and neutral. Let's pick up the belly button because sometimes it gets a little bit softer when you're not looking, so lift it up. And then go ahead and take your left arm and stretch it out, breathing in. And exhale, slide it underneath. You may want to lower, or you might not. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, coming back through. So this is a hard pose, I'm not going to lie. Right, you're asking your body to do a whole lot of different things here. You're on your knees, you're twisting, you're moving your arm. So it's not an easy thing to do on a good day, right? So give yourself some credit for trying. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna finish it up with this last one, coming on back. All right. And then go ahead and flip your hand down, turn it over, give your hand a stretch. Breathing in. All right. And then release that hand. Good. And so we're going to come onto the back again. Sitting in a chair. Wait for me. I'm coming. We're going to move into a body scan meditation. Okay. First, I want to maybe try to do a little stretch of the legs and the abdominal area, a little twist. Okay, so coming on down to the back. Again, adjust for your lower back. Any padding at all that's going to make this more accessible for you, I encourage it, right? We deal with enough in our daily lives to have to come to our yoga practice and have to deal. Make it comfortable, make it feel really good. Okay, so we're gonna take a little stretch, pick up your right leg, okay? Anyone in the chair, just hang on, I'm coming. And then just cross your right ankle over your left knee, okay? Just hang out there, arms are on the floor, and you're gonna flip these toes all the way back, like you're trying to shoot a dart out of your heel. Chair people, same thing, just doing it sitting in a chair. So you're sitting in a chair, just like you're crossing your ankle in your chair, do the same thing, and you have a little bit easier time, a little better access with your foot. You can actually push the toes back a little bit, and you should maybe feel a stretch right underneath your hip. You can maybe drop your knee down. If you're lying on the floor, gently press your knee away from you. Now relax your mouth, your tongue, your throat, your cheeks, because it all just went like this, tight. And then uncross that side. Breathe. And then let's repeat second side. Lying on the floor, cross your left ankle over your right knee. Sitting in a chair, left ankle over right knee, same thing. Sitting in a chair, try to sit up a little bit taller. Lying on your back, try to open up your shoulder blades more. Maybe take your left hand, regardless as to your position, to the front of your left knee. You're not trying to, yank it, just gently encouraging it to move back, and maybe press these toes in, which is going to activate the foot. Spread the foot, just like we were talking about, like as much as you can, spread your feet. And then just take a breath. You're doing it right. You're actually doing it perfect. Cannot tell you how honored I am to be here right now. I'm almost gonna cry. Anyone out there who knows me from teaching yoga for Love Your Brain knows exactly that I'm not kidding. All right, release that side. Okay, and then, that was very fun. Good, and now we're gonna come into a little bit of a head and neck massage that we call daily rituals of self-care. And lying down or sitting up. And if you're sitting up, I'm really going to encourage you to try to take your shoulders down and back. I know it's hard, especially, it's so easy to move to here and then feel like all this contraction in the ribs. Best that you can, shoulders down and back. if you're lying down, shoulders down and back, no difference. Feel your feet touching something, the base of your chair or the floor. So always know that you have your feet on the ground, right? You always feel that. So whenever you're feeling a little bit off kilter, come right back down to the base, what's touching the ground. Now let's close the eyes. Your knees can be bent or straight. Let's take the hands to the scalp. Fingers, very sensitive finger pads. Take them to the scalp. And very gently, you're gonna let your fingers do the walking. Old Yellow Pages ad, right? Dating myself. And just move your fingers wherever you wanna go. No right or wrong, right? Your body and your hands are gonna have a little relationship right now. And you can go to your neck, wherever you wanna go. You want to go. Doesn't have to be deep. You can very gently, you can even sweep like very lightly. So when you do that, you can sweep your throat. You can do little raindrop, right? Whatever you want to do. This is all stimulating very sensitive, delicate tissue right beneath the skull. I see all these questions. Okay, so better to do yoga in the morning or at night. Okay. Well, it really depends on your day. And you guys keep doing your little massaging there, and I'm going to answer some of these questions now because I couldn't answer questions and read while I was teaching. All right. So, a very bad anxiety where yoga brings it on. A very bad anxiety where yoga brings it on. It is possible that maybe you're nervous that you're feeling that you're not going to be able to do it right, and you're nervous that you're going to get it wrong. So I think it would be helpful to you to remind yourself that you can't do it wrong. And I would be very happy to help you and talk to you about that. Just know that you are doing it right, and yoga is here to heal you and just make you feel good about everything that you're doing. Yoga in the morning or at night, it's really a scheduled thing. And I think, yoga can be done all the time, morning, noon, and night. Maybe a little bit gentler in the evening if you have a difficult time sleeping. Maybe a little bit more active if you have a difficult time to get going in the morning. Lots of different kinds of yoga can answer really what you need most, different kinds of guided meditations and breathing. Do you have to get medical clearance before doing yoga? I would say with a brain injury, you probably would want to do that. It really depends on how you're feeling. Some of you have much milder brain injuries and you don't need necessarily the medical clearance, and you know that. But if you're questioning that and if you feel better with a doctor's approval, I would think that you can't go wrong with that. I get anxiety shakes. So that would be something that you definitely want to look into as far as, again, breath work is going to be hugely important to you to help you kind of even the playing field of what's going on in your mind. I don't know if it's happening more now with this way of living that we're experiencing. I know that many people that don't have a brain injury are experiencing that. Let's move into some final relaxation for a few minutes, and I'm going to come back to the rest of these questions because I really want to give you a complete practice. So now that you're lying on the floor already, and if you've finished giving yourself a head massage, take your arms down by your side. You might want to lay a blanket or something light over your body if you have it nearby. For those of you that do tend to get those anxiety feelings, vertigo person, I'm coming back to you too. For those of you that do have feelings of nervousness, a light blanket over top of you, kind of like when you go to sleep, might feel more protective. If you're warm and don't want that, you can just take it over the middle, right? Because this is sometimes where anxiety manifests also, right in the stomach, right in the pit of the stomach where things can get a little bit tense. So this might help you to feel a little bit more protected. And maybe let the palms face up. Feel a little bit more open. Walk the arms away from your body. Let your legs move apart from each other. Okay. And then just allow yourself to settle and notice the ground beneath you. Know that you are touching the ground. And just let this natural sense of awareness move through your body. Just total body, total awareness, total breath, nothing more. And then imagine just feel your whole body and squeeze everything really tight. Make fists, make a tight face, make a tight face. Hug all your muscles in, get super tight, and then let it all go. And do that again. Squeeze the muscles to your bone, and then release. And then one time, just the face. And then let that go. And then again, like you're smelling the air around you. Just take a breath in through your nose and let that move through your body nice and easily. Try not to push it. If you're breathing high, that's okay. Don't push. Just let the belly rise and fall. A couple of times. Relaxing through your mouth and your jaw, your nose and your cheeks. Softening your eyes and your forehead, your ears, your inner ears and the space behind your ears. And see if you can swallow a little bit and let any resistance come down the neck and across the shoulders and collarbones. Right? And just get a little bit more expansion for the lungs. And then breathe again into your lungs and just visualizing the inflation of the lungs over the top, out the sides, to the bottom, to the back. And then follow the length of your spine, your ribs. Again, just reminding yourself that the ribs that can sometimes feel contracted can spread as wide as your hands and feet, fingers and toes. It's your body's natural way to find space. Relax your hips, the back of your pelvis. And feel both thighs nice and heavy. Maybe even notice the backs of your thighs touching the floor. Soften your knees and the space behind your knees. Relax your calves and make them wider. And feel your ankles. And then completely relax your feet. All the bones of your feet, muscles of your feet, arches of your feet, pads of your toes, the webs of the toes, the tips of your toes. Just let your feet be completely at ease. Let your hands be at ease. Let your mind be at ease. Let your whole body soften. We call this pose in yoga Shavasana. It's final relaxation pose. It is the most important pose in yoga. So it is proof that everybody can practice yoga. Right? Just lying here relaxed and easy. It's kind of like hitting the reset button, giving your breath, every cell and the space between your cells, a chance to just restart. Fuse yourself with positivity, life. This little quote I love. The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. These persons have an appreciation, a sensitivity, and an understanding of life that fills with compassion, gentleness, and deep loving concern. Beautiful people do not just happen. Beautiful people do not just happen.